good afternoon, everybody. I'm Deb Sofield, and you're listening to my weekly show called Encouragement for Your Life. Many of you know I'm a national speaker, trainer, and coach, and I help people find their voice and learn to use it. I'm also a conference speaker on the topics of public speaking skills, how to present well, how to deal with the media, and crisis communication. If you are part of a conference and you are looking for a keynote speaker, I would love to be a part. You can find me at debsofield.com. As you come to the holiday season, my books are excellent for gifts. Just go to Amazon, type in my name, Deb Sofield, and all my books will appear. If you enjoy these Saturday shows, I've got my books called Encouragement for Your Life, and these are the radio shows in book form. I've got volumes 1, 2, and 3, and they are terrific gifts for folks who you don't know what to buy for. If you've got a young person, my book Speak Without Fear and Perfecting Your Platform would be great if they're heading off to college or out to the wide world of work. Everything would be a benefit for them. I've got a great theme today, and it's this. It's by Napoleon Hill. Hey, friend, if you can't do great things, do small things in a great way. I'm Deb Sofield. Thanks for spending these next few minutes with me. Let's get started with today's show. I really like my theme today. It's a quote from Napoleon Hill. And it's, if you can't do great things, then do small things in a great way. I think that really applies to so much in our life. You know, often people say to me, hey, Deb, I'm not in a position to, and you can fill in the blank. And I always find it interesting that many people place limits on themselves when really no one else on the outside does. It's really all in your mind. You are choosing not to be your big self. You're choosing not to live to your full potential, and you're choosing not to be who you were born to be. Because you are choosing to do little to nothing. When in reality, if you've convinced yourself that you can't do great things, my friend, would you consider turning that around and doing small things in a great way? If I were to encourage you today to do small things in a great way, I have to ask, would you? See, I'd like to remind you that even if you have limited yourself from doing great things, friends, you might be blocking blessings from your life. You might be cutting off opportunities that would result in big things. And if you'd step out on faith and do something, you might be surprised at the outcome. In fact, you might be the only thing that stands in your way from doing something mighty. So friend, would you consider doing small things in a great way? I know you're busy this time of year and you're like, Deb, I can't do one more thing. Well, how about the things you're already doing? You just kick it up a notch. So my theme for today is from who I'm going to call Encourager-in-Chief, Napoleon Hill, who basically wrote the book on being more than your current mindset will see. Meaning, friends, you've got permission. You have encouragement. Some of you even have a directive to do great things. Now's the time to step up to the plate and swing for the fences. I have to admit, I've always found this Napoleon Hill quote a little disconnect from some of his other strong directives. It seems to me that this time he is acknowledging that so many people out there are committed to the idea of small living. And if that's to be, Napoleon Hill and Deb Sofield won't let you get by doing nothing. No, no, no. You have an opportunity to do small things in a great way if you choose. I got to tell you, I think this part comes down to what I'm going to say 3 big ideas. The first is excellence. The second is commitment. And the third is action. Get moving. Stop standing still. Make every moment count in every day, even the days you don't feel like it. Okay, so let's back up and talk about excellence. I'm not sure what excellence means to you. It's not a word you hear that often anymore. Maybe because it's just too hard for some people to achieve. But the idea of excellence is that whatever you do, you must do it well. You don't take shortcuts, and you maintain your standard of integrity. Most of you today know what shortcuts you're taking in your life, your work, and dare I say, your relationships. Shortcuts, meaning you are not giving it your full undivided attention, your full undivided focus. I have to tell you, Oprah Winfrey said it best when she said, "Let excellence be your brand. When you are excellent, you become unforgettable. Doing the right thing, even when nobody knows you're doing the right thing, will always bring the right thing to you. She goes on to say, the choice to be excellent begins with aligning your thoughts and words with the intention to require more of yourself. Ouch! Require more of myself? Who has time for that? I mean, the fact is, friends, excellence isn't easy. It requires more from you. Easy is for everyone else. And you, dear listener, are better than that. Many people I know work at being excellent. Believe it or not, they're excellent in their work, their attitude, their relationships with family and friends. I've heard it said that excellence is never an accident. It's a result of high intention, sincere effort, intelligent direction, skillful execution, and the vision to see obstacles as opportunities. Friend, if you haven't thought about it, why don't you consider making excellence your goal for next year? You can't go wrong with that ideal for your best self, your best life ever. And actually, you might surprise some people, and others will say to you they knew you had it in you. Okay, so my next point is this. If you can't do great things, do small things in a great way would be that of commitment. Yeah, another tough word. Like excellence, this one's not easy. In fact, commitment might be the hardest trait out of my 3 today. Like excellence, commitment is a daily choice, and it's a hard decision to make and keep. We all start with the best of intentions, but then life has a funny way of stepping in and messing things up. I really like the quote that states, commitment means staying loyal to what you said you were going to do long after the mood you set it in has left you. Hey friend, when you understand the value of commitment to your best and highest sense of self, and you see yourself in a way that reinforces your standard of self-control, self-confidence, and self-esteem, it will set your personal standard for success. And here's the most exciting thing about setting yourself up for success. Once you make the commitment to doing it every day, good days and bad days, happy days, sad days, for rich or for poor, you, yes, you, dear listener, can achieve your goal. It's not that I said it will be easy, but it will be top of mind. And once in your mind's eye, I believe you can see your future. It's amazing how things just seem to fall into place to make things happen. Opportunities appear. People you haven't seen in years just seem to show up at the right time to offer the help that you probably need with a project you're working on. I've seen it in my own life and in the lives of my clients, but it doesn't happen without intentional commitment to do the work. See, committing to your dreams and goals and your work is really the best way I know how to help you achieve all those things that you have hoped for, prayed for, and in many cases, worked for. Listen, I wish it were easy, but I've got to level with you. It's not. But here's what I know. You are going to be okay no matter how you feel about the journey. Friend, just commit to moving forward daily. Now listen, my final point is action. Believe it or not, I am not concerned if you occasionally go sideways instead of straight up the mountain. Just make sure you're moving forward, even if it's bit by bit. See, I have found once you start to move in the right direction, when you put your shoulder to the plow and push out of the rut of your current situation, you will, in time, find your path. Now, don't be alarmed, because you'll be unsteady for a time, but then the road will even out, and you'll be able to pick up the pace to get where you're going. The key is to keep moving. Now, you may say, hey, Deb, I've got a lot on my plate. Why move when things are good enough? Which, by the way, you know that is the phrase I absolutely detest. Who wants to be good enough? Why not just be great? Because here's the other point. Things won't be good enough for long. Like it or not, change happens. And sometimes it's for good and sometimes not. But you, my friend, cannot rest on what you've done. You got to move. And I trust you'll move forward. I wonder if I told you that 5 or 10 years from now, you would be in the same place in your life, your job, and your relationships. If that were to be the case, Do you really think you would be happy? Seriously, I doubt it. So believe me when I say that moving, whether it be up or sideways or around, you will be in a better place. So don't fear change. If anything, fear staying the same. See, some of you today need to understand that in life, you must make a decision that you are going to take action and move on it, because it won't happen automatically. You'll have to rise up and say, I don't care how hard this is. I don't care how disappointed I am. I'm not going to let this get the best of me. I am moving on with my best life. And you know that you will be on the right track when you become uninterested in looking back and excited in looking forward. Dr. King is famous for saying, if you can't fly, run. If you can't run, walk. If you can't walk, crawl. But by all means, keep moving. And I'll remind you, if you can't do great things, do small things in a great way. I'm Deb Sofield. This is Encouragement for Your Life. Stay tuned. We're going to do a quick commercial break. I'm going to come right back and give you some ideas on how you can do great things. Hi, I'm Deb Sofield. If someone you know is interviewing for law school, medical school, dental school, veterinary school, college, or a job, call me. Because you need to be prepared for the interview. Together, we'll craft the answers to the questions that will be asked, even the hard ones. I'll teach you how to connect with the interviewer, work on your positive body language, and give you the powerful words and answers the interview requires. You know, for most interviews, there's a standard set of questions that you must know the answer to. And depending on what you're interviewing for, that conversation changes. You need a coach, and I can help. I have years of experience coaching for all types of interviews. Call me. I'd like to be on your team. I'd like to be your coach. Contact me through my website, debsofield.com. Welcome back, everybody. Hey, listen, I want to continue with my theme of if you can't do great things, do small things in a great way. And I came across a really interesting article by Celestine Chow of the Personal Excellence blog. She says this: when I was a kid, people would constantly speak in admiration of those who were excellent in whatever they were doing. These could be students who achieved academic excellence, successful business leaders, top athletes, celebrities, and so on. Envy aside, no one ever spent any time to think about why or how they excelled. It just seemed they were natural. And for most, people just accepted that some people were meant for excellence while others were not. She goes on to say, if you've ever looked at the achievements of others and thought, wow, if only I could do that. Or if you've ever thought or wished you could perform better, earn more money, make more friends, have better health, achieve success, then here's a shout out to you. You, my friend, are capable of all of that. Why? Because everyone has a potential in the world to do whatever they dream or want. So here are a few principles of excellence that the author says will help you in your journey. Number 1, have the hunger for excellence. If you want to achieve excellence, the emphasis here is on what you want, not what others want. And make sure the goal is something you've set for yourself, because unless it is, chances are you probably don't really want it. And if you don't want a goal badly enough, it doesn't matter what you do, since the drive, well, frankly, it won't be there to keep you moving forward. It's pointless to sign yourself up for something and put in a half-baked effort, because it's really not being true to yourself, and frankly, you're wasting time. So, have a hunger for excellence. The next one is benchmark against the best. What is it you're working on? Who are the people who are the best in this area? What are the results they've achieved? See, if you set your targets to the same level as their best results, or even higher if you're feeling up to it, it'll change everything. When you think about it, only you can really fight against you. So benchmark against the best and see how you do. Probably the third point is one of the most important. Believe that you can do it. See, self-belief is paramount to every success. You need to first believe that you will get something somewhere somehow. And friend, if you don't have the self-confidence to believe in you, well, who else is going to believe in you? See, if you have experienced maybe low self esteem and you've looked back over time and you just haven't seen the success that you want, I want you to refocus and believe that you can do it. Now, one way you do that is the next point: build a strategy and a plan. See, every goal needs a proper strategy and plan for it to come to fruition. Setting a goal and not following through with proper planning is like getting in your car to drive to a destination without knowing how to get there, or maybe not even having a driver's license. Many people fail in their goal because they fail to follow through with planning. Remember, the bigger your goal, the more that you will invest the proper time into building your plan for success. What you have to do: build your strategy, create your plan, execute, and then review. I love our next point, and that's learn from the best. You ought to hang out with people who are the best in the field and then learn from them. I have to admit, in today's social media world, it is easy to find folks who you can admire for the good work that they do. You don't have to learn everything from scratch. So many people think they have to reinvent the wheel. You don't, my friends. So much is out there, but you've got to do your homework. So with that, I encourage you to learn from the best. And then the next point is don't limit yourself. Please don't be afraid to try things that may take a little bit out of your comfort zone. In fact, be more concerned about opportunities you could be missing out if you don't open yourself up to the possibilities. I like our next point: go all out, work really hard. I mean, the fact is, with every success comes hard work. Without hard work, you're going to struggle to achieve the results you hope for. See, people who try to find the easy way out are many times just kidding themselves if they think they can achieve excellence without putting in the hard work. Friend, if you look around, the people who seek to get rich usually are the folks who don't achieve much in their life because they're constantly looking for the next big thing that was last week's big thing and is probably never going to be a big thing since it was never starting out to be. Invest the time, do the work, and then go to work. And to that point, you've got to focus your efforts. See, once you finish trying out every single thing that you can see, now focus on the areas that you believe will bring you the best results. A lot of people believe in the 80-20 principle, where 20% of causes lead to 80% of the effects of a situation. So here's the deal: focus your energy in a few key places, and then measure the results that you're hoping for. Remember, they say it best: you can't manage if you can't measure. So you have to know where your efforts are focused. And then I have to say, you got to be adaptable. Adaptability is one of the essential pillars of excellence. Listen, you already know change is inevitable. You can either cower in the face of change, learn to deal with it, or turn it to your favor. Our friend, be ready for change at all times. And listen, you might just go ahead and develop a relationship with it because it's going to happen. This could happen to you changing your plans. If you are so tied to things, you're not allowing the freedom for life to kick in and provide something better. The next point's probably another one I love, and that's never give up. I know it's hard. I know you're tired. I know you've tried, but you can't give up. Elbert Hubbard said, "There is no failure except in no longer trying." Remember, defeat never occurs unless you accept it as defeat. If a certain problem is too big for you to handle, you're smart. Break it down into smaller pieces so it's easier for you to tackle. Listen, as long as you're trying, I believe you're going to reach your goal. These 10 principles are not rocket science. I get that. But what I'm trying to remind you of is that it takes a little bit of work. But friends, you can do it. It's not that hard. It's just something you're going to have to focus on. So real quick, have a hunger for excellence, benchmark against the best, believe you can do it, build strategies and plans, learn from the best, stop limiting yourself, go all out, work really hard, focus your efforts, be adaptable, and never give up. You know I really like quotes, and I came across an interesting one from a guy named Ronnie Oldham, and he says this: "Excellence is the result of caring more than other things wise, risking more than others think is safe, dreaming more than others think is practical, and expecting more than others think is possible." It's a great quote from Ronnie Oldham. I love this next one. This is by Aristotle. Excellence is never an accident. It is always the result of high intention, sincere effort, intelligent execution. It represents the wise choice of many alternatives. Choice, not chance, determines your destination. And then Colin Powell said, if you're going to achieve excellence in big things, you develop the habit in little matters. Excellence is not an exception. It is a prevailing attitude. And then I gotta say, this last one I love. Jessica, I think it's Guy Bono, and she says this: every job is a self-portrait of the person who did it. Autograph your work with excellence. Wow, I couldn't have said that better myself. I gotta say, this theme today I know is one that I probably in a small way talk about a lot. It's a quote from Napoleon Hill: if you can't do great things, do small things in a great way. Friend, I think that would be life-changing if you would just step up to the plate and swing. As I come to the end of the show, I want to add one more skill, opportunity, that although is small, will give great reward, and that's this. Friend, I hope you're reading. I know it's one thing to be online and you go, well, I read everything online. No, I'm going to encourage you to go to the library and pick up a book or buy something. Mark Twain said, the man who does not read good books has no advantage over the man who can't read them. The fact is, the more you read, the more knowledge you gain. There is no end to what you can read. Seth Godin is a best-selling author on Business Week and the New York Times. They say he buys 400 new books every year, and he probably reads more than that within a year. I admit I go to the library all the time. Now, I have to admit that sometimes for pleasure reading, I like something called a cozy mystery. It's like a Miss Marple's without the violence, but they're fun just to give my mind a rest. But I actually seek out topics that I don't know much about so I can educate myself. And primarily because I find myself in a lot of places where I'm with really smart people. And the question many times is asked, hey, what are you reading now? And I gotta say, when I ask others that question, I am always surprised when they look at me like I have two heads. Like, why would I read a book? Ah, friend, why would you not? I can look at my library here in my office, and I can tell you the books that have changed my life. So as you're coming into the new year, making New Year's resolutions, I want to encourage you to pick up a book. And I'm not just hawking my own books. I'm telling you, there are so many great opportunities out there if you will just go and find something that you have a little bit of an interest in. Because over time, that spark will turn into a big fire. Listen, I know there's a lot of information on the internet, but I think that is a great reason that you and I should probably read more now than ever. People often ask me, hey, Deb, what's the benefit of reading a book? I could just look it up online. And I say, listen, there's a lot of benefits. I went online real quick. Let me just give you a few that they're touting. You gain valuable knowledge. You will exercise your brain. It improves your focus. It improves your memory. It's also quite enjoyable and entertaining. It also improves your ability to empathize. It improves your communication skills. They even say it reduces stress. It can improve your mental health, and then you can learn to live longer. Who knew? But I will say, when I think about my theme for today and all that we've got, friend, if you'll just do a few small things like read a book, maybe exercise, maybe eat a little better, focus on you and your family, I think the small things you do in a great way will turn around to be great things that will help you and your family the rest of your life. So I think it's important that we do what we can with what we have. And so I'm going to encourage you every week to step forward and learn to live your best life ever. When I think about what reading can do for you, because I know what it's done for me, it has been life-changing, not just for knowledge, but so I can see the world. All right, I know, going off a little bit on this one, but I got to tell you, when I think about the things you and I need to do, although they may be small, we can do them in a great way. And when we do, we set ourselves up for success. And as you well know, I preach it all the time, people are watching you. And they're looking to you for leadership. And yet you're still living a small life. That's just not acceptable. Not acceptable at all. Not when you were made for more. And friends, you were made for more. You know it. I know it. You got to just accept it because that's the gift that you and I have been given. All right, Deb Sofield here. This has been Encouragement for Your Life. I know we're at the holiday season. Thanks for taking a few minutes to listen to me today. I hope you are safe and sound with your family. Please be careful out there, and I look forward to you joining me next week, same time, same place, for Deb Sofield's Encouragement for Your Life. Take care, everybody.